times men abandon the family on paternity court.
You were my hero, and every girl needs a hero. Don't you want us anymore?
And you wrote that letter to your dad?
Yes, Your Honor.
I was totally in love with Mr. Norris here. And on my son's 8th birthday, that is the last time we seen him.
What happened?
He left. He disappeared.
On your son's 8th birthday?
No, ma'am.
Jilted at 14, but now Miss Jacobs wants answers from her father.
Ms. Jacobs, you claim that your world was shattered just after your 14th birthday when your dad suddenly up and disappeared.
Yes, Your Honor.
Today you say you've brought him to our courtroom to demand answers.
Yes, Your Honor.
The young woman had no idea why her father walked out like that.
14th birthday, Your Honor. We were outside celebrating with 4th of July. I heard an argument inside the house. She was screaming at her mother, like, no, there's a chance they're not his kids. I've heard all of it, so.
And did you overhear or know all of this was going on at your 14th birthday party?
No, I actually just seen him walk out of the house. He was really angry. Didn't understand what was going on at all.
Oh, poor thing. That revelation ruined Miss Jacobs' life.
I actually have a letter here from where I took, and I wrote it when I was 14, when my dad actually left. It says, Dad, I wish you never left. It really sucks that you're not here. Every night I pray that you come back. Sometimes I even pretend that what it would be like if you were still here. I don't know when I'm ever going to see you again, and it hurts. I'm kind of angry about it too.
Her letter further said this.
Why did you ever leave me? Why did you abandon us? Abandon me of all people. I didn't want this to all be a dream, but it's not. I don't understand why you moved to Ohio and had to leave us behind. You were my hero, and every girl needs a hero. Don't you want us anymore?
And you wrote that letter to your dad?
Yes, Your Honor.
Didn't know whether he was truly your biological father?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Walker, on the other hand, has no clue about any of it.
And Mr. Walker, you had no idea your daughter was going through all of this?
No, Your Honor. The foster care, she went to foster care because I had a job, and when I threw her mother out because of all that coming out at her birthday party, I set her mother out. I had enough. Your Honor, I went through it all through, even before her and I got married.
He told the court why it was so easy for him to jump to the swindling conclusion.
Actually catch her cheating.
I needed her to watch the children so I could go to work. So I go out looking for her, caught a guy down there that I knew worked with her at her job. And I asked him if he had seen her. He's like, well, no, she's probably hanging out with this guy. Oh, her and him, they've been sexually in a relationship now for about 4 months.
Further, it was disclosed that Miss Jacobs' mother was up to no good in the past.
2 weeks later, I went to work and I come home and her bags were gone. She had done packed and moved out. Once I found out where she was at this guy's house. She had moved in with him.
Really?
Yes.
Ms. Jacobs, had you ever heard any rumors?
Yes. When my mom found out, she was like, I don't know why you would want him to be there. He's not your real father. And
So let's see if DNA results will join this family or drive it apart more.
In the case of Jacob v. Walker, when it comes to the paternity of Miss Aisha Jacobs, Mr. Walker, you are Aisha's father.
A loving marriage ended 20 years ago after an awkward claim came out.
Ms. Norris, you claim Johnny B. Norris Sr. has been denying he fathered your son for the past 22 years. You say today's paternity results will prove him wrong.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Norris, you state that you've always known that Johnny Jr. is not your son, and today you believe the DNA will finally prove it.
Yes, Your Honor.
So where did things go?
Why do you think if he says he loves you, you all were married, you had your son, why does he deny your son?
That I don't know, Your Honor.
His grandmother said that I wasn't his father. She'd go out from time to time for a couple of days consecutive, and in the same breath, I was a young man. I was about 20 years old at the time, and I felt like she was sleeping around on me with her ex.
But Mommy denied those accusations.
That is incorrect. I was not sleeping around with my ex. I was totally in love with Mr. Norris here. And on my son's 8th birthday, that is the last time we seen him.
What happened?
He left. He disappeared.
On your son's 8th birthday?
No, ma'am, that's not how it happened at all.
And the junior at the podium remembered the incident like this.
Junior, do you remember any of this?
Yes, Your Honor.
You do?
Last time I seen this man, he shot me on my lap.
He was parting ways with you or your mom?
No, parting way he had to leave and he'll be back.
Oh.
Mommy told the court that up till now, there was not even an ounce of doubt of paternity. family.
So, Ms. Norris, up until this point, was there any doubt with respect to the paternity?
No, ma'am, not for me. I've always knew he was his father.
And what about from Mr. Norris Sr.? Did he take care of Junior? Was he present in his life?
While he was there,
His
he
grandmother
did
said
contribute.
He did.
that
Yes,
he
ma'am.
wasn't my son.
This has ruined the peace of the guy at the podium.
On the subject situation of my father not being there, induced a great deal of anger, upon me, and I acted out in different subject ways, as in got in a variety of fights. I was very rebellious.
All right. But you just decided to keep pressing.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
Understood.
However, now there was another woman in Mr. Norris's life, and the judge wanted to know her to take on the dispute.
It is my understanding that you are married to Mr. Norris.
Yes, I am.
How did you find out that your husband might have a son?
I heard rumors through the years, and I checked it out myself. I got on Facebook and I contacted his son and got Mrs. Norris's number and talked to her on the phone.
But this led to another confusion.
By getting on Facebook.
I didn't get on Facebook. My wife got on Facebook. We have never talked through Facebook. She found my son on Facebook, sent her number inbox to his.
Well, not hard to find. All she's got to do is type in her husband's name.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
This news had rubbed Mr. Norris's other marriage hard.
Because I want to know. For 8 years, I thought he was. That's why I gave him my name. But then it was iffy because she was gone, like I said.
We were both gone.
It hurts, Your Honor, because I named him after me, Your Honor. I loved him. Like I said, that was the first time a woman ever said that a kid was mine, even just verbal.
Well, there was only one solution to this marriage.
In the case of Norris Jr. versus Norris Sr., when it comes to 30-year-old Johnny B. Norris Jr., it has been determined by this court, Mr. Norris Sr., you are not his father.
So, it was time for apologies going around, but we wish the best for the family.
And I'm sorry, son, because all these years I really truly thought that was your father and how I told you. So I do apologize to you as well.
I kind of got cold feet a little bit about coming because I know them skeletons come out the closet.
I'm a skeleton picker, ain't I?
Yes, ma'am.
Ain't no
very,
good.
Very good. But you're beautiful with it.
Yes,
Thank you.
And you keep it real.
Thank you.
Going on break has ruined this relationship, and the parents are in paternity court because a DNA result is the only solution.
Ms. Lovett, you are in court today. You claim that Mr. Hilton has denied your daughter since birth and has also abandoned your other 4 children. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hilton, you claim you are certain Ms. Lovett's daughter is not your child because Ms. Lovett was in a sexual relationship with another man. Is this correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Those are some strong allegations.
I got 4 other kids, but Your Honor, I'm not finna do that. That's impossible.
But you so strongly believe Winter is not your biological child, you said you're not taking care of her.
No, ma'am.
I shouldn't have to go through this. All these kids are his, and I know it. We made them together. It's just so beautiful. That's his baby. I know she is. I know what I did.
Mr. Hilton was not ready to fall for any of it.
Mr. Hilton, you can't look at Miss Lovett or the baby.
No, ma'am, Your Honor, because she had a sexual relationship with somebody else, Your Honor. Look at them eyes. And them big old eyes.
What do you mean
My
with her
man,
eyes?
Come on, man. My eyes are
She's
like,
only 2 months.
I have a big
she can't
nose.
even fully develop.
She's so
It don't
precious.
it don't take a rocket scientist to see that.
Let's take a look at that calendar.
Did you have sex with Miss Lovett pretty much the entire month of November up until Thanksgiving?
Unprotected.
No, ma'am. The last time was November the 15th. That's the last time, Your Honor.
When was Winter due?
August the 6th.
Okay, so I'm gonna put in August the 6th. Possible conception date?
Right. Don't see it
November
right
11th.
there.
Still, Mr. Hilton's skepticism was not getting any lighter.
He said it's no way possible. He said he Googled it. It don't make sense that that's his baby at all. He said the timeline do not match up. He said you can get pregnant in a week and it come back positive.
That's it.
So wait a minute, Google is giving paternity results now?
Yeah. I went through my whole pregnancy and Ashley was not there.
He was not even there for the birth.
It was one of my worst pregnancies ever. I was in and out the hospital. My baby's sick. Everything, he was not around. He's still not around. He's not doing anything at all.
Mr. Hilton, were you there for the birth? Winter was born?
No, ma'am. I came a couple of days later.
He was not even there for the birth.
No, ma'am. I came a couple of days later.
And you made that choice because you don't feel like she's your child?
No, ma'am. That's
So what did you come up there for at all?
just to see like if it's mine or not. See if it looked like me or similar to my other kids, and I don't see it, so I just don't believe it. Cause she done lied before plenty of times. She lied plenty.
Really? I lied?
Look at my nose. I got a fat nose. Look at it. Come on now. I got slanted eyes. That baby eyes is big.
After this, the judge and Jerome had a heart-to-heart about the dilemma at hand.
Really not as strong
We
as us.
always make
But I'm
things-
saying you all make all your mistakes, right? But then when it goes down, he still hasn't even forgiven you for the fact that you slept with the guy.
That's how we think.
That's it.
Never let it go.
That ain't
Never.
gonna never let it go.
Never.
That part is bothering him in and of itself. Then put the baby on top of it. He can't even process the cheating, much less get to the baby that might have came with it.
When the judge asked how Daddy was treating other kids, this got revealed.
So did he sign the birth certificate for the other 4 children?
No.
Hold on.
I had to force him. Like, I had to sit there to do stuff.
Oh, this is an act, you know.
No, wait a minute.
You the joke.
Oh, we're gonna find out when these results come.
So, Ms. Lovett, I want to understand this. You've had 4, possibly 5 children with Mr. Hilton, and his name is not on any of the children's birth certificates?
No.
What is wrong with this guy anyway?
Okay.
You ain't on nothing.
All right.
You don't take accountability for nothing. You don't take responsibility for nothing.
See, look at that head. You look like the baby got a receive.
That's his baby. That's his baby. Look
not-
at them, side by
I don't
side.
even have no bond
That
with
look
the
just
baby. When I
alike.
hold the baby cry. My other kid.
How would you
baby
have
don't
a
cry.
bond if you're
They
not
go right to
around?
that.
Hold on. I'm still stuck on the fact that why you keep having babies by the same man that don't sign the birth certificate for your baby.
All of this fooling around with children's life drove the judge to this.
And I'm mad at you.
You be mad at he's done nothing for the baby. You should be more mad at him.
No, you don't
He's
tell
done
me who
nothing.
I get to be more mad at. You're not gonna sit up here and convince me that you just a victim of this man 5 times over.
I love him.
I know you do. And you think having all these babies gonna make him stay or he gonna make him do right by you. And that is just not how the cookie crumbles.
And we all know what happens on this corner of the street.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Hilton, you are not the father.
Told you.
Your own friends stealing your man is hard enough, but if paternity donuts add up in the situation, it's definitely time for Judge Lake to come in.
Ms. Arbogast, you are in court today claiming the defendant started denying your 2-year-old daughter, Kinsley, once he got into a relationship with your former friend.
Yes,
You
Your Honor.
claim the defendant has ignored the needs of your children, so you are suing for the maximum amount of $5,000 for child care expenses. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Vess, on the other hand, had no sympathetic take on the situation.
You haven't been helping at all, Mr. Vest?
No, because how can I take care of somebody's daughter that may or may not be mine?
We still have a 3-year-old son.
So you have another baby too?
Yes,
But do you help financially with that child?
I have in the past, but recently, no, I have not.
You have not helped in the past, not at all. You've helped $100 per both kids in 2 years.
He even blurted in the courtroom.
But
When?
recently, I have having bills and everything else that
How much money do you say you've contributed, Kinsley?
Kinsley, probably $100.
Okay, so she's right.
You don't know me and you barely know her.
Oh, he barely knows me. I dated him for a year and a half in middle school. I'm sorry, when
Okay,
you
but
walked
he
in
doesn't
my
know
door-
me.
when
He
you
has
walked
no
in
right
my
to say
door
anything.
2 months ago, and our 3-year-old son looks up at you and says, "Who are you?" No, that's not my fault. You've been the absentee of his life.
And Mr. Fritz is your current boyfriend.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Fritters was the guy stepping up as the daddy.
So you've developed a bond with the children.
Yes, I have.
That's about the time they start saying dad, dad.
Yes, Your Honor.
She knows no other man as dad besides him because he has refused to claim her. But he's the one who signed the birth certificate
But
in
you're
the
the
hospital.
one that makes
he did not
all your other
decide
boyfriends
to not,
call, you know,
he did
call
not
dad by
decide
them.
to disown her until he left me to get with her, and then all of a sudden, oh, that's not my baby.
Let's get down to the relationship timeline.
2012, we got pregnant with our firstborn in November. We had him in August of 2013. I don't know if you older people do it, but us young people, we go at it like rabbits.
So you older people. Wait a minute. You say Mr. Vest told you.
Yes.
The only way to break the connection you had with this friend.
Told
But he
him to
says
come
you
pick
need
me
to go
up.
have sex with him.
Yeah, bond of friendship that I had with this man. But then he
What?
decided, but the whole pregnancy.
Who gave you this advice, Mr. Vest? Where'd you come up with this?
No, I never said that.
Wow. This is a really odd situation.
He tells you to sleep with the other friend.
I did not have sex with this other man until August 29th, and our conception date was August 11th to the 13th, in between them days.
So wait, how did this happen then? You just go up to this guy and say, my boyfriend says to have sex.
It was late at night. He came and got me. We went to the lake and did our deal, and I went back home and got in bed with him. Took a shower and then got in bed, and he was all good.
And the story got trickier. Just take a look.
I got mad, and I told her that she should go and be with somebody else if she wanted to be. I guess she took me serious.
When did you find out about him?
After we broke up.
He knew that same night. I was at the lake. He was texting me the whole time, baby, when are you coming home? What time are you gonna be here?
When I get done having sex with the person you told me to go have sex with. He doesn't even make any sense.
He knew about it. That's the thing. He says he didn't know. He knew about it.
Miss Glover testified this to the court.
When Mr. Vest found out that Kinsley may not be his biological daughter.
She did say it shortly after they broke up that Kinsley was possibly not his.
How old was Kinsley at this point?
At the time of our split up, she was 2 months shy of being 2 months old.
Did you ever tell him that she wasn't his?
No, I never once told him. If that wasn't his baby and I knew that wasn't his baby, why would I let him sign the birth certificate in the hospital?
Mr. Vest was even treating the other kid the same bad way.
Him to also be a father to our son. When our 3-year-old son looked at him and said, "Who are you?" He can be a father to her kids
I'd
and
be a
their
father
new
to my
baby.
son if I actually had a chance to see him.
When you haven't been around, because that is not comfortable with me. He knows me. He knows my boyfriend. He knows my family.
How long?
And Mr. Vest, you're just jealous because you got replaced as a boyfriend and as a father.
You will too.
Oh,
In
no,
a matter
we
of
won't.
time, you will be replaced.
Oh, no, we
3
won't.
boyfriends in
I've
how
had
many
2.
years?
The ex-friend intervened in the conversation like this.
I have been begging you to be around, and you say,
Arbogast.
I have text messages of him.
Let me
the
see that.
disrespect things he said.
Text messages between you and Mr. Vest. You say it's pathetic that you still don't want to grow up and claim your daughter that you signed the birth certificate for. That could potentially be your daughter.
I shouldn't have said it. I was angry. And yeah, I regret it.
Only one solution left, I guess.
In the case of Arbogast versus Vest, when it comes to 2-year-old Kinsley Vest, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Vest, you are the father.
I see.
The defendant is being sued for an amount of around $3,000 on backed up childcare expenses.
Ms. Bailey, you and your daughter are suing the defendant for $3,691.50 in child care expenses. Mr. Parker is your daughter's estranged husband, and he denies paternity of your 4-month-old grandson. You claim he hasn't even given your daughter a single penny for your grandson's expense.
Yes,
Mr.
Your Honor.
Parker.
The 16-week pregnant woman was abandoned like this.
Not a single thing for my daughter or my grandson. He left her when she was 16 weeks pregnant, didn't look back, and he is living his life without responsibility. I'm the baby's father. I provide for the baby. I'm there to hold the baby when he cries and comfort him. Not him. He's living the way he wants to. My daughter is going to college. She's working on her 2nd degree.
Miss Parker so far had this connection with the child.
You don't even know what he looks like, Mr. Parker?
No, Your Honor. I haven't been given the chance.
He's 4 months and no opportunity?
No, ma'am. There hasn't been a phone call, anything.
Have you made a phone call?
No, Your Honor, he hasn't. I've had the same phone number for 4 years, and he hasn't called me once.
But why poof off like that?
Why would you leave her when she was 16 weeks pregnant with...
It wasn't so much leaving, ma'am, as being run out of the home. The last few days there, Your Honor, she told me that I wasn't worth nothing. I was not allowed to eat, that I was not allowed to be a part of this family.
That's a lie.
I wasn't doing that. He wanted me to take care of him like I was his maid, like I was his slave. I wasn't doing that either. I wanted him to grow up.
What is actually going on here?
That's the lock on the bedroom door that I came home to one day.
Because all the Christmas presents were in there, and I have an 8-year-old.
Then why did when I asked you so I could go in there and go in the
You didn't have
bedroom?
anything left in there.
Because you threw everything out.
Did you lock your husband out too?
I locked that bedroom door because I didn't trust him and didn't want him in that room.
So let's get to the point of the doubt actually kicking.
I didn't even know the child had been born for over a week. It was the 25th or the 26th. I called her up because it was the day the baby was supposed to have been born. Left a message on her answering machine.
Did you accompany her to doctor's appointments?
No, Your Honor.
I was not allowed to, ma'am. At this point, I didn't know if she was taking another man or family or...
Next came the birth certificate as evidence.
It shows where I was not even registered as a father, and in my state, if you were married, you were supposed to be automatically be put on the birth
You're
certificate.
presumed, as I review your evidence.
And this is a federal document that shows that she lied to the doctors, lied to the hospital, and lied to me.
The hospital, didn't put him on the birth certificate of what I had experienced. He wasn't allowed at the hospital.
Let me be clear. On this piece of evidence, we can see that means the mother refused.
The judge gave Mr. Parker a chance to testify.
Because she needed some time alone. And then she'd call him and want him to come back when it was payday. My son, they had one card that he bought. So she would have a card for her and these children.
And why was
he had
able
to
to
get
buy
a card to get back and forth to work from my dad. She
He
don't
has
work.
nothing.
She drives
She's not the only one in college, though.
He has no college degree.
I'm
She's
halfway
working
through
on
my
her
college
second.
degree.
Yeah, but I'm halfway through my second.
But it don't do no good if you don't work. You stay on welfare and food stamps.
All right.
All the going round and round just wasted Lake's time.
So that maybe I can see something important. How in the world we got here? This court is really about helping children, and our concern is Zachariah. Listen,
He has not helped one bit.
In fact, so your testimony, Mr. Parker, is that you've done nothing. You don't believe this child is yours.
Yes, Your Honor, I don't believe this child is mine.
So, the only way to move forward was DNA results.
In the case of Bailey Parker v. Parker pertaining to 4-month-old Zachariah Bailey, and as to whether Mr. Parker is his biological father, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Parker,
Yes, Your Honor.
you are his father.
I told you.